My greetings to Dr. Nabila. I am Rishalini, daughter of Sarvanan, and my matrix number is AE190119. Today, I will be explaining about an important part in the human body, which is the lungs. Lungs are the center of the respiratory system. Every cell of the body needs oxygen to stay alive and healthy. Our body also needs to get rid of carbon dioxide. So, our lungs are specially designed in order to exchange these gases every time we breathe in and we breathe out. Now, let's look at the structure of the lungs. As you can see in this video, this spongy pinkish structure that looks like two upside down cones in our chest is called the lungs. And this is the right lungs that is made up of 3 lobes. Meanwhile, this is the left lung that only has 2 lobes to make room for the heart. The lung begins at the bottom of the trachea. This is the trachea, and the trachea is a tube that carries the air in and out of our lungs. From here we can see that each lung has a tube called bronchus that connects to the trachea. Both this trachea and bronchus airways form an upside down Y in the chest. As you can see, this is the Y here. These bronchus then branch off into smaller bronchi and even smaller tubes called bronchioles. Like the branches of the tree, these tiny tubes stretch out into every part of our lungs. What we don't know is that we have almost 30,000 bronchioles in each lung. Then, each bronchial tube ends with a cluster of small air sacs called alveoli. As you can see, they look like tiny grape bunch of very tiny balloons. There are about 600 million alveoli in our lungs. What does the alveoli actually do? The alveoli are where the lungs exchange oxygen and carbon dioxide during the process of breathing in and breathing out. As oxygen moves out of the alveolus, the carbon dioxide molecule passes into it. Then they are breathed out of the body through the nose or the mouth. That's all from me.
Assalamualaikum and greetings to Dr. Nabila. I am Ifan Najiha binti Amnuah with matric number AE190138. I will explain one of the human body system, which is brain. So as you can see, here is the model that I already create at the Sculpt TJL software. So here is the model. So the brain is a complex organ that controls memory, emotion, touch, motor skills, vision, breathing, temperature, and every process that regulates our body. The brain is made of about 60% fat, which weighs about 3 pounds or 1.4 kilogram in the average adult. The remaining 40% is a combination of water, protein, carbohydrates, and salts. The brain itself is not a muscle. It contains blood vessels and nerves, including neurons and glial cells. The brain can be divided into 3 main parts, which is the cerebrum, brainstem, and cerebellum. So the first one is the cerebrum. Cerebrum is the largest part of the brain. So as the largest part of the brain, the cerebrum initiates and coordinates movement and regulates temperature. Other areas of the cerebrum enable speech, judgment, thinking and reasoning, problem solving, emotions, and learning. Other functions related to vision, hearing, touch, and other sense. Next is the brainstem. The brainstem, which is at the middle of the brain, connect the cerebrum with the spinal cord. So in the brainstem, it is include the midbrain, the pons, and the medulla. The midbrain, or we call it as mesencephalon, is a very complex structure which a range of different neuron clusters, nuclei and colliculi, neural pathways, and other structures. These features facilitate various functions from hearing and movement to calculating response and environmental changes. The midbrain also contains the substantia nigra, an area affected by Parkinson's disease that is rich in dopamine neurons, and part of the basal ganglia, which enables movement and coordinations. The pons is the origin of 4 of the 12 cranial nerves, which enable a range of activities such as tear production, chewing, blinking, focusing vision, balance, hearing, and facial expression. The pons is connections between the midbrain and the medulla. So at the bottom of the brainstem, the medulla is where the brain meets the spinal cord. The medulla is essential to survival. Function of the medulla is to regulate many bodily activities, including heart rhythm, breathing, blood flow, and oxygen and carbon dioxide levels. The medulla produces reflexive activities such as sneezing, vomiting, coughing, and swallowing. The last part is the cerebellum, which we call as little brain, is a fist-sized portion of the brain located at the back of the head, below the temporal and occipital lobes, and above the brainstem. It has two hemispheres. The outer portion contains neurons, and the inner area communicates with the cerebral cortex. Its function is to coordinate voluntary muscle movement and to maintain posture balance and equilibrium. So that's all from me. I will pass to the next member. Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Roda Isha binti Rosli, metric number CE190224. So this is the stomach that I designed using ZigBrush. So the stomach is a J-shaped organ that digests food. It produces enzymes, which substance that creates chemical reaction, and acid, which is the digestive juice. This mix of enzymes and digestive juice break down food so it can pass to the small intestine. The stomach is part of the gastrointestinal, which is the GI tract. The GI tract is a long tube that starts at mouth. It runs to anus where stool leave the body. The GI tract is a key part of the digestive system. So where's the stomach located? So I will show you where the stomach is located. So the stomach sits in upper abdomen on the left side of the body. So at here, the top of stomach connects to a valve called the esophageal sphincter, a muscle at the end of esophagus, which is here. The bottom of stomach connect to the small intestine, which is it connect it here. So the size of stomach varies from person to person. The stomach expands when full and deflates when empty. Because of this, the stomach size can vary depending on how recently and how much the person have eaten. The stomach purpose is digest food and send it to small intestine. It has three functions. First, it temporarily store food. Second, it contract and relax to mix and break down food. And third, produce enzyme and other specialized cells to digest food. So how does the stomach work with the rest of the gastrointestinal, which is the GI tract? So I will show you this picture to explain. So each part of the GI tract breaks down food and liquid and carries it through the body. During the digestive process, the body absorbs nutrient and water, then the person expels the water product of digestive through the large intestine. So food moves through the GI tract in a few steps. So first, at the mouth, as we chew and swallow, our tongue push food into our throat. A small pieces of tissue called the epiglottis covers our windpipe. the epiglottis prevent choking, and second, the esophagus. Food travels down a hollow tube called the esophagus at the bottom. Our esophagus sphincter relax uh, to let to let food pass to our stomach. So what is a sphincter? A sphincter is a ring-shaped muscle that tightens and loosens. So the stomach, and third is stomach. Our stomach creates digestive juice and break down food. It holds food until it's ready to empty into our small intestine, which is here. And fourth is small intestine. Food mixed with the digestive juice from our intestine, uh, liver, and pancreas. Our intestine will walls absorb nutrients and water from food and send waste product to the large intestine. So, so this is the large intestine. And five is the large intestine. Large intestine is our large intestine turns water products into stool. It pushes the stool into our rectum. So this is the rectum. The rectum is the lower portion of our large intestine. It stores stool until our have a bowel movement. So what are the parts of the stomach anatomy? The stomach has five distinct sections, which is cardiac, fundus, body, and antrum and pylorus. So I will show you. So this is the section of the stomach. So the cardiac here is the top part of the stomach. It contains the cardiac sphincter, which prevents food from traveling back up esophagus. And then the fundus, which is here, is a rounded section next to the cardiac. It belows the diaphragm, the dome-shaped muscle that helps to breathe, and the body, which is here, is the largest section of the stomach. In the body, the stomach contracts and begin to mix food, and the antrum lies below the body. It holds food until the stomach is ready to send it to the small intestine, and the pylorus is the bottom part of the stomach. It includes the pylorus sphincter. This ring of tissue controls when and how the stomach contents move to small intestine. And then I will show you the several layers of muscle and other tissue make up at the stomach. So we have mucosa, submucosa, the muscle layers, and serosa. The mucosa is stomach, which is here. The stomach, inner lining. When our stomach is empty, the mucosa has small ridges which irrigate. When our stomach is full, the mucosa expand and the ridge flatten. Submucosa contains connective tissue, blood vessels, lymph vessels, which is a part of our lymphatic system, and nerve cells. It covers and protects the mucosa. So this is the muscularis externa, the primary muscle of our stomach. It has three layers that contract and relax to break down food. So the lastly is serosa. Serosa is a layer of membrane that covers of our stomach. So that's it from me. Thank you.
Greetings to Dr. Nabila. My name is Vanessa Armuga. My metric number is AE190128. Today I'm going to explain about human organ that I choose for the group assignment, which is the kidney. The kidneys are a pair of bean-shaped organs on either side of spine, below ribs and behind belly. The kidneys' function is to filter our blood. They remove unwanted waste, control the body fluid balance and keep the right level of electrolytes. Kidneys also remove acid that produced by our cells of the body and maintain a healthy balance of water, salt and minerals such as sodium, calcium, phosphorus and potassium in our blood. The filtered blood goes back into the body. Waste gets turned into urine, which collects in the kidneys, pelvis, a funnel-shaped structure that drains down a tube called the ureter to the bladder. If blood stops flowing into kidney, all or a part of it could die. That can lead into kidney failure, and without this balance, nerves, muscles and other tissues in our body may not work normally. Each kidney has around million of tiny filters called nephron. Each nephron includes a filter called glomerulus and tubule. The nephrons work through a two-step process. The glomerulus filters our blood and the tubule returns needed substance into our body and removes the waste. The tubule returns needed substance into our blood and removes the waste. A blood vessel runs alongside the tubule. As the filter fluid moves along the tubule, the blood vessel reabsorbs almost all of the water along with the minerals and nutrients into our body needs. The tubule helps remove excess acid from the blood. The remaining fluid and waste in the tubule become urine. Blood flows into our kidney through the renal artery. This large blood vessel branches into smaller and smaller blood vessels until the blood reaches the nephron. In the nephron, our blood is filtered by the tiny vessels of the glomeruli and flows out of our kidney through the renal vein. This is the kidney I have sculpted using Sculpt GL software.
Assalamualaikum and selamat sejahtera to Dr. Nabila. So my name is Nashafika binti Aswasli. My metric number is CE190239. So today, I will present about the liver. We will started to choose an organ system and design it using a software. So I have choosing a Sculpt GTL software to design the organ that I recover, which is the liver. As we can see, this is the result after I design it the way I draw it using the right tool here. And the various option we can choose to shape it to be like liver. So we have a brush, inflate, twist, move, flatten, pitch, twist, drag, bend, move, masking, local skin, and transform. We have a few type of tool that we can choose to create the organ that we chose. So next, I will explain the function of the liver. So the function of the liver is the largest solid organ in the body. So it removes toxin from the body blood supply. So it's maintain healthy blood sugar level, regulate blood clotting, and perform the hundred of other vital functions. It is located beneath at the rib cage in the right upper abdomen. So, the liver is an essential organ of the body that perform over 500 vital functions. So, this include the remove waste product and foreign substance from the bloodstream, regulate blood sugar, create essential nutrient, and so here is a most important function that we need to know. So, first is albumin production. Albumin production is a protein that keeps fluid of the bloodstream from the leaking into surrounding tissue. It also carries a hormone, vitamin, and enzyme through the body. So next one is bile production. Bile production is a fluid that is critical to the digestion and absorption of the fats in the small intestine. So the next one is a filter blood. Filter blood is all the blood leaving the stomach and intestine pass through the liver, which removes toxin, byproduct, and other harmful substances. So the next one is a regulate amino acid. Regulate amino acid, the production of protein that depends on amino acid. The liver makes sure the amino acid level in the bloodstream remain healthy. So next is regulate blood clotting. Blood clotting coagulants are created using a vitamin K, which can only be observed with the heart of bile and fluid of the liver produce. So next is resist infection. Resist infection is a part of the filter that process the liver, also remove the bacteria from the bloodstream. Next is store the vitamin and minerals. So the liver store the significant amount of vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, vitamin K, and vitamin B12. So next is process glucose. Process glucose that can liver remove excess glucose, which is a sugar, from the bloodstream and store it glycogen. So next, I will explain the important individual part of the liver. So first we need to know is a common hepatic duct. Common hepatic duct is a tube that carry bile out of the liver. It is formed from the intersection of the right and left hepatic duct. So next, we need to know is a falciform ligament. So falciform ligaments a thin fibrous ligament that separate the two lobes of the liver and connect it to the abdominal wall. So next is glycogen capsule. Glycogen capsule is a layer that loses a connective tissue that surround of the liver and is relate artery and duct. So next is hepatic artery. Hepatic artery is the main blood vessel that supply the liver with oxygenated blood. So next is hepatic portal vein. The blood vessel that carry blood from the gastrointestinal tract, gallbladder, pancreas, and spleen to the liver. Next is a lobes that the anatomical section of the liver. And the next one is a lobulus. Lobulus. Lobulus is a microscopic building that block of the liver. And the last one is peritoneum. That is a membrane cover the liver that form the exterior. So this is a few things that we need to know the individual part of the liver. So as we can see, this liver is a reddish brown, and the shape is approximate like a cone or wedge, with the small end above spleen, the stomach, and the large end above the small intestine. The entire organ located below the lung and the right upper abdomen. So the liver uh, below the lung and right the upper abdomen. So the weight of the liver is between 3 to 3.5 pounds. So this is our liver. So this is final look, the result that we create liver using the SCAP GTL software. So the green one is a gallbladder. So this is liver and this is gallbladder. So that's all from me. Thank you.